We are with the second session of our Concourse camp. So today's session is all about a programming language which has been like used by nearly 60 percentage of the developers all around the world for developing their own Android app called as Kotlin. So yes, we are going to see about a programming language called as Kotlin in this session. So yes, what is today's agenda? So first we'll be like seeing about what this Kotlin is and the definition related to Kotlin and all that. And next we'll be seeing about the advantages of Kotlin. And next with the Kotlin basics, and those will be like taught in a practical manner by using an online IDE, which is called as Integrated Development Environment, called as Kotlin Playground. So this is the agenda of today's session. So we'll just start our session with first, what is Kotlin? Kotlin is a cross-platform, statically typed general-purpose programming language. So Kotlin is nothing but it is a statically typed programming language used by over like 60% of the developers that helps the boost their productivity and developer satisfaction and core safety. In all of these things, like the developers always like prefer Kotlin as the programming language for developing their own Android app than from the other programming language. And this particular Kotlin was being like introduced by JetBrains in the year of 2011. And since the year of 2017, Google like officially supported Kotlin for developing the Android apps. So this is all about what is Kotlin. And next, what is the history of Kotlin? So by 2010, this particular project called as Kotlin was being like started, and by 2016 Kotlin 1.0 was launched, and by like 2017 officially like Google supported Kotlin and also like announced like the official language for the Android development as Kotlin. And by 2019 like Android became the Kotlin's first, and by 2020 Kotlin 1.4 preview happened. So this is the history of Kotlin. And next, why we have to like choose Kotlin than the other programming languages? We'll just see why it is that. And before like seeing why, we have to know its merits, right? So we'll just see its merits and then we'll see why we have to like choose Kotlin. So this particular Kotlin consists of like various advantages in it, and the first advantage is that it provides a robust code. Robust code in sense like whenever you like code any programming language, say as like Java or C++, there may be like a situation where you'll be like thrown with an exception called as null pointer exception, and these null pointer exception will like happen when you're like trying to access a variable before assigning. So this is also like lead to like crashing your particular program during the runtime. So this is like a biggest problem which is being like faced by the developers when they code their app. So this particular Kotlin programming language provides a robust code which will like we won't like allow these like null point exception to happen in it. So that is like one of the greatest merit of this Kotlin programming language. And next is that this Kotlin programming language is a strongly typed language. So that is also a greatest like benefit of this particular language. And this particular language consists of like fewer bugs compared with the other programming language. So anything with a fewer bugs is like very user friendly to like work, right? So in such a way like Kotlin helps us with that. And next is that it provides a lesser code. So whenever you like type a particular logic or a code or something like that in Java, there may be like a situation where your particular logic may go up to like 100 to 150 of code lines. So that may be like little like difficult for the coders because it consists of like lots of like space, time and everything, right? So Kotlin actually like provides a lesser code that's nearly like 30% of the lesser code when compared to Java. So this is also a greatest merit of Kotlin programming language. So any programming language with a lesser codes and fewer bugs will be like more acceptable in the society, right? And that's why like nearly like 60% of the developers opt for Kotlin for like developing their own Android apps. And the like the time and like the it also like provides the matured platform. So matured platform will like make the person to be like very user friendly with that particular platform. So it also like provides with that. And another thing is that this particular Kotlin like allows the Java to like incorporate in it. So for example, say as like you're typing a code with the Kotlin programming language, and in between somewhere you feel like you want to like incorporate the Java functions in it and all that, so you can like do that. So this particular Kotlin like allows you to like incorporate certain Java functions in it. And another thing is also that like you can like fully convert a Java code into a Kotlin code. So this is also a biggest advantage of this particular Kotlin programming language. So now by knowing the advantage of Kotlin programming language, so you know why we have to like choose Kotlin, right? The first thing is that it provides the robust code. The second thing is that it provides lesser code and fewer bugs. Third thing is that it provides a mature platform, and the time spent on the reviews and maintenance has also been like less when you like compare it with the other programming language. So that is why we have to like choose Kotlin, and that is why the people around the world, nearly like 60 percentage, actually like choose Kotlin than the other programming languages in order to like build their own Android apps. Yes. Now we just saw about what this Kotlin program is, and what is the history of this particular Kotlin programming is, and we also saw about why we have to like choose Kotlin, right? So we must know where we are been like using this particular Kotlin programming language. So this particular Kotlin programming language has been like used for developing mobile application, and also for the web development, and also for the server side applications. So in all these things is where a particular Kotlin programming language has been like used for. Yes. Now we just saw all the like theoretical thing about the Kotlin programming language, and now we'll just jump into the basic thing of this particular and the main thing of this particular session, that is the Kotlin basics and the Kotlin programming thing. Yes. First, like before you like jump into like any programming language, and whenever you want to like learn any like programming language, there are like two main things which you have to like no compulsory in order to like start with that particular programming language. The first is that you must know about the variable types if like provided in the particular programming language. At the same time, you must know what is particular variables and all that, and mainly you have to know the data types which that particular programming language supports in it. So that is what now we are going to see in first. So we'll be seeing like first what this variable is, and what are the variables which the Kotlin contains, and how many types of variables does it supports, and all that. And then we'll see about the data types which the particular Kotlin programming language supports in. Yes. First, variables in Kotlin. What is this variables? Variables is nothing but it is a box to like store the values, or you can say it also like as a container to holds the data. So anything you want to like store, we use something like a box or a container called as variable. So that is the definition for a variable. So this particular variable can be like of single letter, say as like A, B, C, or it can be a word, say as like name, or anything. So and this particular variable, as I said before, is used to like store the particular value. So where do we like use this variable and all thing is that whenever you want to like parse a particular value to the computer, you just use this particular thing called as variable in order to like store that particular value. So that's where you like use this particular variable in your coding thing. And this particular variable will look in such a way that in general it look as like A is equal to 10, and here A is called as variable and 10 is called as value. And that's what is called as variable. Now we'll see the variables in Kotlin. So this particular Kotlin programming language actually like provides with two types of variables. So first is called as the var, and the second one is called as the val. So this var is said to be mutable values, and this val is said to be immutable values. We'll see what is this val and what is this var, and why it is called mutable values, and what is its function of that, and why it's called as immutable values, and what's the function of that. Now first we'll see var, and then we'll see about val. Var, as said before, it's mutable values. Mutable values in sense like, as I said before, like variable like allows you to like store the values in it. The same way, this var keyword, when you like give it before the variable name, will actually like allows you to store the values which can be like changed anywhere and anytime in your code. So say as you have a situation, you have already like assigned in a code where in the beginning have been like assigned as a is equal to 10, and you feel like you want to like change after certain lines of code. Then in that situation, you can use a variable type called as var. So when you like use a variable type called as var, and you like use your variable name assigned towards that, and then you like assign the value towards that, and that particular thing, that particular variable name assigned here can be like changed anywhere in that particular programming language. So that is the use of this var variable. And yes, next is the val variable. The val are said to be immutable values. Immutable values in sense that it stores the values which cannot be changed. So whenever you like assign a particular variable by using the val variable keyword, you cannot change it anywhere in the program. So yes, this is what about the variables in Kotlin. So you just look into this particular image here. So this is the particular like the syntax of the Kotlin programming language, and I'll just tell you later like what this fun keyword is, what is this main is, and all that. Just look into here. So first we have the keyword called as var. So you can use var or val up to your preference. And after that, we have something called as the variable name. Variable name is what I said before, that this particular variable name can be a letter, or it can be a word, or it can also be a two words which is being like separated by an underscore. So after that, we have a colon, and then we have the data type. I'll just tell you like what is data type after this, and then the value which we like gonna assign in this particular variable. And the one thing that you have to know is that whenever you're gonna like assign a value to a variable, the assigning will take in place that the value will get assigned to the variable. So the direction will be like from right to left. So in that is the way how this particular values will get assigned towards a variable. And yes, this is the particular syntax of how to like define a variable in Kotlin. So you just use the first you have to use the keyword, then with the variable name, then with the data type, and then with the value passed towards that particular variable. Yes. Now we saw about the variables in Kotlin. So next we'll see about the data types in Kotlin. So like what is this data type before? Data types are nothing but like whenever you wanna like pass a particular thing towards a computer, say as you're gonna pass an numbers 5 to a computer, it should recognize it as a number, right? It should know it as a number, right? For that we use something called as a data type. So if you want to like pass a character, then there is certain data type called as scan, and you want to like pass a particular string or like particular word, there is a particular data type called as string. And if you want to like pass a number, there is a data type called as int. And when you want to like pass a decimal number, there is a data type called as float and all that. So data type is nothing but like it is used to it is used to like define a particular value which you have like passed towards the computer, and it's also like used to like make the computer to understand what you're passing in it. So and it's also like used to like store a value, and also like and it also like performs a various tasks. So that is what is called as data types. And there are like certain like primary data types which the Kotlin permits in its programming language, and they are over here displayed in the screen. So the first is int, and the second one is long, and the third one is float, and the next is the double, and the next is short, and next is byte. So these are the data types which the Kotlin allows in it. So we'll see one by one what is it and what's the length of it and all that. First is int. So int is used to like store an integer value. So integer value in sense like any whole number, say as 5 or 10 or 25 or anything. And this particular int can like store up to like 6 digits of values. So that is the work of this particular int data type. And next we have long. So long is also meant for an integer value, say as an whole number. And this long is used in a place where you want to like store more than like 6 digits. So when your particular value is lesser or up to 6 digits, you use a data type called as int. And when a particular value is like more than 6 digits, then you use a data type called as long. So this is what is said as int and long data types. And next we have float. So whenever you're passing a decimal value, you must use something called as a float or double. And let's see where are this float data type is being used and where are the double data types is being used. So float data type, as I said before, is used to like store a decimal value. And here in by using the data type float, you can like store up to like 7 digits after the decimal point. So whenever you're gonna like store a value that is a decimal value, and you have something like up to like 6 to 7 digits after the decimal points, you can use a data type called as float. And whenever you want to like store a particular value which contains like decimal digits after the decimal points up to like more than 7 digits, then you must use a data type called as double. In the same way, we have something called a short and byte, and we also have like something called as character and string. And character is being like used to like store a single character, say as A B C D, and string is used to like store a word or a sentence. So that is all about the data types in Kotlin. Now we'll move into our PPT. So yes, now with the basics knowledge of what these variables are and what are the data types that the Kotlin support and all that, now we can see the syntax and the main function of this Kotlin programming language. Yes, main function. So Kotlin is a programming language that combines object-oriented programming and the functional features into a unique platform. So main function. What is here in this particular image? You could see the the syntax as fun main followed by the parenthesis, and then you have the curly braces, then you have like the print and statement, and then you have a certain thing called as hello world within the double quotes. So this is particular code. And here you have fun and main, right? So this fun is nothing but it is said to be the function. So it is nothing but it is a function declaration thing. And this function fun keyword is being like used to like perform a particular task, and it is also like used to like define a function. So that is the work of this particular fun keyword. And next to that we have something called as the main. So main is said to be the entry point. So whenever you like code something and whenever you like run it, the compiler will first check for the main, and it will understand as if like only after the main the particular code starts it. So that's why it's called as the entry point. Actually the code and the compilation actually starts after the main function only. So that is why this particular main is said to be as the entry point of this particular Kotlin application. Yes. So now I just like practically like tell you how to like code this Kotlin programming language, and I like teach you like certain basics coding with a particular Kotlin programming language. And for that, I'm gonna use an online IDE platform called as Kotlin Playground. So this is how this particular Kotlin playground will looks like, and it's like simple. You can just go to your browser, type Kotlin playground, and click onto the first link, and that will direct you towards a page like this. And here you'll have a run option over here, and if you want to take some documents, you can like click onto this particular documents. If you need like solutions for anything, if you want to like refer anything, you can like click onto the solutions, and here you have like the multi-platform mobile option. If you want to like know about the web front end, if you know about data science, if you want to know about Android and all that, you can just click onto it. It will like direct you to a page which says many theory content about and many learning content about those particular topics like the web front end and the Android and all that. And next we have here the run option. Here we have the copy link option. By using these thing, you can like copy your link and like share it to any people. So yes, so this is an open IDE. IDE in sense of like an integrated development environment, and this IDE will like help us to like run our code. So that is how this particular thing works on with. Yes, we'll just start with our basics. So as I said before, as I like talked before about the main function, right? So this particular main function in Kotlin is of like two types. So one kind is that you'll have the fun keyword followed by the main, and then followed by the curly braces. Inside that you have the particular statement or the condition written in it. So that's how this particular thing works on with. So this is like one kind of say that, like I'll just give it something like print hi. So this is like one kind of the main function in Kotlin. And the another kind is like you have the same fun keyword followed by the main function. And inside the bracket of the main function, you have something called as args followed by a semicolon. And then you'll be have like array which starts with the capital letter, and then you have these angular braces, and then you have string written inside them. So then you have the curly braces, and inside that you'll have the print statement in it. So yes, these are the two different types of the main functions in Kotlin. So here you have something called as the args and array like string, right? And this particular like form of the main function will like accepts a variable number of a string argument. So that's where you use this particular main function, and this you use it for the ordinary purpose and all that. So these are the main functions which are being like available in the Kotlin programming language. Yes. Now we'll see about just we'll just start with like printing up of a string. Okay. So like this particular print statement in like Kotlin consists of like two way. I'll just teach you one by one of those two ways. The first is that printing a statement by using a keyword called as print, and we'll see like what is the function of that and how it like differs with the other. So as usual, the syntax is like fun keyword followed by the main function followed by the curly braces. Inside that, inside these curly braces is where your particular code and conditions and everything will be like written on it. So here I'm just gonna like print something. So I'm gonna give print, and I'm gonna something give something called as hello. And I'll tell you later like why you have to where we have to like use double quotes and why I'm using double quotes and all that in the later way. So here we use something called as print here. So this is like one kind, and the other kind is something called as fun main followed by the curly braces. Here I'll use print ln, and I'm gonna like type the same hello world. So what is the difference between these two is that this particular print keyword is like used to like print a particular thing in the same line itself. So that is the like work of this particular print keyword, and this print and keyword is being like used to like print the particular statement in the next line. So I'll just like show you how this particular things works on with. So I'm just like giving this print statement, and the function of this is that the particular thing will be like um, printed in the same line. So here I'm gonna like change the text as hello world or hello people. I'm gonna give this, gonna like press the run option, and here it's gonna like show the output for me. And this is how see you have like you could see that the particular hello people is being like printed over the first line itself. So now let's like see how this println works with same code. I'm gonna like give println keyword, and over the next line I'm gonna like in order to like differentiate I'm gonna like give something called as print, and here I'm gonna like give hi everyone. This run option. Yes, you could see that the statement given by using the keyword print ln will be like printed in the first line, and the next thing will be like printed over the next line. And this is how this particular print ln and print works on with. And for like instance you may like think maybe like the particular print statement is being like given in two lines, and that's why it's been like printed in two lines, but it's not like that. When I like remove this particular ln, you could see both are being like printed in the same line. So that's the work of this particular println statement. And when you like use this particular println statement, you must be like very sure that this particular println statement should be like placed above the statement which you want it to be like printed over the next. So here I want my hi everyone statement to be printed over the next line, and that's why I use the println statement over the first line, that is to the line of hello people. And only then this particular hi everyone statement will be like printed over the next line. Yes, now we saw about the two different types of the print statements, that is print and println keywords. Yes, now we'll see about the printing of an integer and a string. First, we'll start with printing of an integer. How to like print an integer? Same syntax, fun main, followed by the braces, and here we're gonna like use a keyword called as print. And whenever you wanna like print a particular integer, you no need to like use the double quotes inside this. You can just give the particular integer value in it. So you just run the particular thing, and you could see it's been printed over here. So this is how you print an integer. And yes, now we'll see about how to like print a string. So whenever you're gonna like print a particular string, you should give it between the double quotes. So whenever you give a particular thing between the double quotes, it will like print as such of that. And whenever you're gonna like print a particular string, you must give it between the double quotes. If not, it will throw an error. So here I'm gonna like print something called as I love Kotlin. I'm gonna run it. Yes, it's been like printed over here. So yes, and one of the thing that you could see over here is I've never used any semicolon at the end of a particular statement. If you have already like dealt with any like programming language like C++ or Java, you would have used a semicolon at the end, right? If you like doesn't like use, or if you like miss to use a particular semicolon in any line, that will throw an error. But here it doesn't, because you no need to like use a semicolon in the Kotlin like programming language, which is like a greater benefit for us. And now we saw about like printing of an integer and printing of a string. Now we'll see how to like print a particular integer and string together. And in order to like print them both, we are gonna like use something called as concatenation. So concatenation symbol that has been like plus. So this particular concatenation is being like used to like concat two different things. So it can be like both integer, both string, or like it can be an integer and can be a string. So we'll just now try to like print a integer concatenated with a string. So yes, I'm gonna give something like my age is. Then I'm gonna use the concatenation operator called as the plus operator, followed by the age of mine. Click onto the run option. You could see it has been like printed up here. So let me like give a space for this. So whenever you want to like give a space or anything, you must give it between the between the double quotes. As I said before, whatever you give inside the double quotes will print as such. So I'm gonna like give a space and then run and see. Yes, now it's perfect. So this is how you can like concat two different things by using the concatenation operator called as the plus. So now we just saw about how to like print an integer string, and how to like concat as integer and string and print them together. Now we'll see about how to like declare a variable with its data type and then printing it. So for that, you're going to use the same syntax, fun main, followed by the curly braces. And here I'm going to use a keyword called as var. As I said before, var are mutable values. And I'm going to give a variable name. Here I'm going to give it as a, followed by the semicolon. And then I'm going to pass an integer, and hence I'm going to give the data type as int. Then I'm going to use equal to sign, and I'm going to assume as like I'm going to like allocate a value say as 20 to it, and I'm going to like print them by using the print option. And as I said before, in order to like print and one more thing is that whenever you want to like print an integer, just give it inside them. And whenever you want to print a string, you can give it inside the print statement with the double quotes. And whenever you want to print something which you have like thrown, that like whenever you want to like print a variable which has been assigned by a a particular value, just give the particular variable and that's enough, and that will, the particular compiler will understand and print us for us. So give the run option, and here yes, a particular value 20 is being like printed. So this is how we can like declare a variable with its data type, and then we can print it. Yes. Now we'll see about the condition statements used in the Kotlin programming language. So this particular conditions, what are this particular condition statement is that whenever you wanted something, like whenever you want a particular condition to occur, say as like whenever there is a scenario where you want a particular set of statements should be like executed if the particular condition which you have given is true, and and another set of statements should be like executed when the particular condition which you have given is false. In those things we use something called as if statement. So here the if statements are of like four types. So we have something called as if expression, then we have like if else expressions, then we have like if else if expressions, and then we have the nested if expressions. So we'll just see one by one in a brief manner. First we're going to see about the if expressions. So where are all the situation where we are going to use this if expression is that this particular if expression is being like used to specify whether a block of the statements will be executed or not. So that is something like if the particular condition is true, then only the particular statement will be like executed, otherwise it will fail to execute. So in such a situation only we use this if expression. So yes, so the like the syntax of this particular if expression is this. So this is a syntax. So you'll be like using a keyword called as if, followed by the like brackets. Inside that you have to give the condition which has to be like parsed, and once this particular condition is like true, it will like get into this particular place, and here you have to give the statement which has to be like executed. The statement can be a print statement, or it can be a condition, or it can be anything like that. So this is the syntax of the if expression. So I'll just like run a small code in order to like show you how this particular if expression works on it. So here I'm going to use the second type of the main function over here. So fun main followed by a bracket, then args followed by colon, and then we have the array, and then with the angular brackets we have the string in it. Then we have our curly braces, and inside that first I'm gonna like here declare a particular value with a variable. So I'm gonna use var. I'm gonna like give a variable name, say as a, and then I'm gonna assign a value called as 10 over here, and then I'm gonna use this if statement, if expressions. I'm gonna use if, and here I want to like give an answer for a statement like if particular this if suppose this particular value which have been passed is greater than 0, then it have to like print yes, I'm a positive number, or else it should like stop executing. So that is what is the problem which I'm gonna like solve now. So I have been like declared a value to like I have been like assigned a value to a variable, say as a here. I'm gonna like give the condition for that. So I'm going to give a condition, say as a should be like greater than 0. Then I'm going to give the curly braces. Inside that, if this particular condition is true, then you have to like print something called as yes, I'm a positive number. Let's run a code. Yes. see, since I've given something like value 10, and hence it's like greater than 0, our particular code has been like executed, and hence it has been like printed something like yes, I am a positive number, which we have been given. So this is how this particular if expression works on with. So next we'll go into our the second if statement, which is the if else expression. So this if else like statement contains like two blocks to get executed. So this if statement is being like used to execute the block of the code when the condition becomes true, and the else statement is being like used to execute the block of the code when the condition becomes false. So that is how this particular if else expression works on with. So yes, I'll just give you the syntax for this if else expression. So if followed by the condition inside that, and if that particular condition is true, this particular statement will get executed, or else if the particular condition is false, then that is else, here a certain thing should get executed. So this is the syntax of this if else expression, and the condition will be like given only with for the if keyword and not with the else keyword. And if keyword is denoted for the true condition, and else keyword is denoted for the false condition. Yes. Now we'll see a small example program of how this particular if else statement works on with. So this is a syntax like fun main args colon followed by arrays, or like array, then followed by string, then with the curly braces. And here I'm gonna like give two values. I'm gonna like assign two variables with two values. So I'm gonna use var keyword, and I'm gonna like give a variable name say as 10. I'm gonna assign it with value 10, and then I'm gonna declare a variable with a var keyword, and then I'm gonna like assign a value towards it called as 20. And here I'm gonna like write a code in such a way that I'm gonna give a condition where if a is greater than b, then it has to print a statement like a is greater, or else it has to like print a statement called as b is greater. So this is the program which I'm gonna like work on with. So yes, now we're after like declaring our variable, now we're gonna like use the if condition. So if followed by the brackets, and inside that we're gonna give the condition. So it is like a is greater than b, that's my condition. It has to print a is greater, else it has to print b is greater. So I've done with my code, and let's run them. Yeah, see, since the value which I have given for b is greater than a, it have been shown that b is greater. So this is how this particular if else expression works on. So how it works is that it just assign a value for this particular thing, and it check here whether a is greater or b is greater. If it just check first, so a is 10 and b is 20, it will check whether it's true. No, it's not true, so it will move on to the next year. Here this condition will get executed, and hence this particular statement will be printed. So this is how this particular if else expression will works on with. Now we'll see about how this particular if else if statement will work on with. So the general syntax is like fun main, and here with our if else if statement, we are gonna have like three blocks of code. So first block of the code will be like if statement, the next will be like else if statement, and the next will be like else statement. So here we're gonna like pass the condition to if statement as well as to the else if statement, and I'll show you like how this particular thing will run with the syntax of it first. So yes, you can like remove them up. Yes. So first, if else if, and here also like a certain condition will be like parsed, and finally we have the else condition. So this is how this particular thing will look like. This is what is the syntax for the if else if statement. So whenever you give a condition over here, first it will just check, okay, like whatever the condition you give with the keyword if will be checked first, and if that particular condition is false, it will move on here, and here you can give condition to this if else if also. So here it will check if this particular condition is true, then the statement inside this else if will get executed, or else it will move on to the else, and finally whatever it's there it will like execute. So this is how this particular if else if statement works on with. So let's just see a small program for this if else if statement. The general syntax like fun main, yeah, gs followed by array, and then with our string inside the angular bracket followed by the thing. And here I'm gonna like assign two values. So a is equal to 10, and then var b is equal to 20. And now I'm gonna give my if statement. So if followed by the condition, here I'm gonna like give something like if a is greater than b, then you have to print a is greater, or else if both are like a is equal to b, then you have to print both are equal, else it have to print that b is greater. So this is how my program will works on with, and this is what is the condition of my program. So I'm going to give like if a is greater than b as the condition for if, then it have to like print a is greater, else if it have to like print else if like if a is equal to b, then it have to print both are equal, else it have to print let's run our code. See, since the value which you have given is a is equal to 20 and b is equal to 10, since the particular value b is greater, hence it is being like displayed as like b is greater. And let me like change the particular value which have been like given as like a is equal to 10, at the same time b is also equal to 10, and let me like run the code, see what happens. See, here it has been like displayed as both are equal. So this is how this particular if else if statement will works on with. So yes, next we'll see about the loop statements in Kotlin. So this particular loop consists of like many things like for loop, then while, do while, and all that. First we'll see about what is this for loop is, and then we'll see about the other loops in Kotlin programming language. First is a for loop, and this particular for loop is used in a situation like where you need to work with arrays or to like loop through all the elements. So whenever you want to like work with array is nothing but it is a set of like characters, or it's like set of numbers being like given. So that is called as an array. So whenever you want to like work with array, or whenever you want to like give a loop, that is whenever you want your particular condition to be like executed for like n number of times until the particular condition which you have like given becomes false, in those situations you use this particular for loop statement. And let's like see a small example for this for loop statement. So I'm going to use the same like general syntax like fun main, followed by the curly braces. And here I'm gonna like give for is a keyword which we have to like use for the for loop, followed by any variable name. Like I'm gonna give it as uh, h, then followed by in. So whenever you wanna like use this for loop, you must use something called as in. So that is like mandatory. Whenever you use the for loop, you have to use in keyword inside it. Then here I'm gonna like run a code where I will get the values printed right from 1 to 5, and hence I'm gonna like give a range to it like 1 to 5. So this is how we can like give range, the first element and the last element, and in between two dots. So this is how we can like give range in the for loop. Then open the curly braces, and here you have to like I'm gonna like give the print statement. I'm gonna give print, and here h is the variable where I'm gonna like assign them all. So this in will like do all the things. So if you like have worked with Java, you would have known like in for loop you have something like I is equal to 0, I less than n, and I plus plus and all that. Here every those tasks will be like done by this in thing. So that's the work of this particular in. And I'm just gonna like print h hint because all these things will be like printed in such a way. So I'm gonna like give it and gonna run them up. Look, I have been displayed with the value like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you would have checked like it has been displayed in a single line, right? Because I have used the statement print. That's only the print statement. So when I use the println statement, those values will be like printed in the next line. So I want it to be like printed in such a way. So I'm going to use this println statement. And now you could see that the elements has been like displayed one by one, and I'll say like how this particular thing will work. So as we have like given the range from 1 to 5, right? So first to go, it will take this particular one thing, and then it just go inside that until like we have given a condition called as print h, and hence it like print them. So that will get executed until the particular until the end of that particular range, and here we have been like given a task file, and until that this particular loop will get executed. And this is how this particular for loop will works in with this particular Kotlin programming language. Now we are gonna see with the while loop in the Kotlin programming language. So where are these while loops will be like executed is that the while will loop will like loops through a block of the code as long as a particular specific condition is true. So that is how this particular while loop will function as. So whenever you use a while loop, this particular thing will like loop throughout the particular block of the code until the condition is true. So that is how this particular while functions as it. And the syntax is like simple. We have the while keyword followed by the condition which have to be given in it, followed by the curly braces, and here you must give the statements that have to be like executed in it. So this is the syntax of this while loop, and I'll just show you with a small example of this while loop. So fun followed by main followed by the curly braces, and here I'm gonna like assign a value of uh, 10 to I variable, and then I'm gonna like use the while keyword, and inside the while keyword I'm gonna give condition like I greater than 5, and I'm gonna like print it in this way. So what this particular thing will happen is that first we have been assigned I with the value 10, and first now what happens is it will just go and store in this particular here, and it will check whether 10 is like uh, it's greater than 5. If suppose if the condition is true, then the particular like I'm gonna give sorry it's gonna be 0. So it will like check whether this particular 0 is being like less than 5. If the particular condition is true, then it will move on to the statement block, and there it will see the first thing is like printed it, so it will print the particular value. and then it will get incremented. So now the I value get incremented over here. Initially it was 0 and now it's going to increment by 1. So I plus plus means that a particular variable will be like incremented by 1. So that is what is the meaning of this particular I plus plus thing. And once it's get incremented, now the value of the I will be 1, and check once again. So now 1 is less than 5, the statement will be like true, condition will be like true, then it will go, it will print 1, and then again it will get plus, the I value will get plus, it will check again 2 is less than 5, true, it will print true, then it will get checked until until the particular I value has been like incremented with 5 now, and it will check whether 5 is great like less than 5. No, because we haven't like used an equalator operator, and hence the condition is false. Now the execution will stop. So this is how this particular while loop will get executed. Now let's run and see the output. Yeah, see. So initially it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and when it's 5, the condition will false, and hence the 5 value won't be get executed. So this is how this particular while function will works with. Next, we'll see the do while thing. So this do while will work in such a way that first it will like print, and then only like it will check for the condition. So that is how this particular do while will works on with. So the condition of this do while, like the syntax of this do while is like do followed by the curly braces, and then we'll have the while statement, and inside that we'll be giving the condition in that, and then this is how this particular do while syntax will looks on like. So now I'll just show you with a small example of how this particular do while will works on with. Fun followed by main, and here I'm gonna like assign a value as 10 to the variable I. So I'm gonna use this particular format of I followed by colon, then with its data type equal to 10. And here now I'm going to use the do keyword followed by the curly braces, and now I'm going to give the statement that has to be like run the first. So I'm going to give print ln I, then I want to like decrement. So in last program we saw about the increment, right? So that I press plus in sense like I value will get incremented, so when by one value, and when you use like I minus minus, the I value will get decremented by one value. So this is how this particular increment and decrement operator will works on with. And next do statement is over, we're gonna like do with while statement. While inside that I'm gonna do condition like I is greater than 0, and like I have already like given like statement inside the do, and I'm not gonna like give it here or. So yes, this is how this particular example looks at. Let's see like how this particular will work. Initially the 10 value will be like assigned to a variable I, and now it will go to the do like function, and here inside that we have given a statement like print ln I. So I value will like get printed over here. So like the first value will be like printed 10, and then I value will get decremented, so it will become 9, and then it will go and check the condition. So then it check like I is greater than or equal to 0, and then the particular thing will works on with. So let me run and check, see. So until this particular loop will work until the I value is greater than 0. So when the particular I value is 0, this particular thing will stops with, and this will come out of this particular thing. So this is how this particular program will works on with. And now we're gonna see about the break and the continue statement in Kotlin programming language. So this particular break statement is being like used to like jump out of the loop. So that whenever you wanted to like jump out of a particular loop, that's where you use a particular break statement. I'll just show you with an example, like fun main and followed by the curly braces. I'm gonna like assign a value of 10 to a particular variable called as I. Like I'm gonna give it as 0, and I'm gonna like pass it to I. and then I'm going to use while loop over here. So while I'm going to give condition like while I is uh, less than 10, then the print it has to print I, and the particular I value should get incremented. And inside this I'm going to give an if condition like uh, if this particular I value is equal to 4, then it has to like break. Yes. So look, I have been like assigned a value of 0 to the variable I, and I have been like used the while loop over here, and now it's gonna like check the condition. So it's gonna like check whether 0 is less than 10, the condition is true, and then it will go and print the value 0. Then the I value will get incremented, and then again this particular thing will like go and I value will get incremented, and then again we'll check, and it'll see like 1 is less than like 10, and yeah, sorry, like before that, before after like getting incremented, we'll check whether that particular value is equal to 4. It's not, and hence the break will not happen. It will get out of this particular if condition, and then to move on to back to the while loop, and here it will check the same condition, and until the value is 4, this particular block will only get executed. Once the value is of I has been like incremented to 4, then the condition will get true, and then a break will happen. So break will like jump out of the loop. So once we like use this break statement, the particular loop will get jumped out of it. So that's why when you like run a code, uh, we would have see the values being like printed from 0 to 3, and the 4 is not printed because the particular thing will get break over that place. So that's where we use this particular break statement. Since we have seen about the break statement, we should see about the continue statement, right? So yes, where do we use this continue statement is that this continuous statement like breaks one iteration. So whenever you want to like break an iteration, we must use something like called as a continue statement. So let's see like how this thing will works on with an example. So I'm gonna use fun main this basic syntax, and I'm gonna like assign a value to I as 0, and I'm gonna use the while loop here. I'm gonna like check the condition as if I is less than 10, then the if block should get executed, and here I'm gonna give it as if I is equal to 4, then I should get plus, and then continue statement. And if suppose the if a block is false, then it has to like print I, and then it have to get incremented. Let's run a code. Yes, see, here what we have done is that we have like assigned 0 to one variable I, and we're going to check a condition for it by using the while loop. And first we'll check whether 0 is less than 10, the condition is true, and then it will go here, it will check whether 0 is equal to 4, the condition is false, hence the if statement will only get executed. And then it will go and print the print I 0, and hence 0 will get printed, and now it like incremented. So 0 plus 1 will be like 1, and now the I value is 1. To check for the condition, I is less than 10, the condition is true, and I is equal to like whether 1 is equal to 4, no. So this particular thing won't get executed, it will print 1. So this will happen until it's 4. So when the particular value has been like incremented to 4, it will check whether 4 is less than 10, the condition is true. It will check whether 4 is equal to 4, the condition is true, and now the value I value will get incremented to 5, and but it will this continue statement will get executed. So that that particular iteration, that is the 4 will alone get won't get like printed, because once after this particular continue statement is executed, it will directly go towards the while. don't like go to the print statement. So that is how this particular 4 is being like missed from our output. So this is how this particular continue statement has been like used to like break one iteration from the code. Yes. Now we have saw about like how we have to uh, work with our Kotlin programming language. We also like saw like the basic things, basic like coding with the Kotlin programming language and all that. Yes, like that's all with our today's session, and we'll like meet with our third session tomorrow. So thank you.